What's up guys, welcome back to Kev's World. Today will be a very different video. We'll be trying to make kombucha at home. Kombucha is a very famous health drink that's popular nowadays, and to my surprise, my sister has been making it at home and she's been very good at it. This is Amanda.
Hi!
Who will be telling us how you can make this drink easily at home using everyday items. What are the first things that we need to prepare?
Okay, so we need a couple of things. One is get a pot ready because we're going to be doing some boiling. Clean water that we'll be using. A measuring cup. 3 bags, well I use 3 at least, 3 bags of black tea. You can use other types of tea like green tea, Earl's Grey, but for the purposes of this video, I'll be using black tea, which is what most people normally use. We need a measuring cup. What I have here is a 1 cup, 250 ml measuring cup. We need sugar. It can be white sugar or brown sugar, but I'll be using white sugar in this case. And of course, the most important thing is our SCOBI with the fermented kombucha. So there are 2 stages in the kombucha making process, and what I'll be showing you for now is the first fermentation stage. Let's go right in.
Let's go! So what happens in the first stage for this process?
So first we are going to measure water. Normally what I will do is I'll take 1.8 liters of water for 1 batch of kombucha, and you pour it into the pot. So after I've measured my water, we're going to boil the water and bring it to a full boil.
And it just occurred to me that making kombucha at home can be very economical. Like I was just at the cafe and they were selling 1 serving of kombucha for about 10 ringgit. Whereas if you were to make your own, you have a whole gallon, I think, or maybe like 3 liters, and it will cost you maybe 5 to 10 ringgit. With the tea and the juice, you get a whole big batch and it's very cost saving. So if you want to save money, try out this at home. So after the water has boiled, we turn off the fire.
Once you have your water boiled, you're going to steep your tea bags into the water. 3 black tea bags. So we will steep the tea for a couple of minutes and then we'll add in the sugar. So now that we've stirred our sugar and melted in with the tea, we will leave our sweetened tea mixture to cool until room temperature. And from my experience, that usually takes about 6 to 8 hours. So we'll just have to wait.
Right, we'll check back in. Alright, so a few hours have passed and our tea in the pot has finally been cooled to room temperature and ready to pour.
If it's too hot, your SCOBI may be affected and your kombucha batch may be ruined. So we don't want to risk that.
We wouldn't want our SCOBI to die and ruin the whole batch of kombucha. Right now we're going to start pouring and recommend to do it over a sink so that you don't spill it all over. Oh, look at that foam. Just look at that nice dark color.
So I'm going to lift it now. I'm just going to cover this.
So that's like a muslin cloth?
So we normally try to use a muslin cloth or a thin cloth, and why that's important is because as we're letting the kombucha ferment in the first stage of fermentation, we want it to be able to breathe because the SCOBI is a live, living bacteria. So we want to be able to allow it to breathe, and that's also part of the process. It's important that you use cloth which is not too thick. So for instance, this kind of cloth may be too thick and we need something which is somewhat porous but also not too big that, you know, little flies and all that can come in. So muslin cloth is just right.
How long do we leave it like that?
So we'll leave this to ferment for about 14 days and keep it in a cool dark corner.
Like a cupboard? A
cupboard's fine, but what I do is just like to store it away in somewhere that's just away from direct sunlight.
So our first process has been done. Seems like it's going to be well. And we'll come back to you in 14 days.
Bye!
Alright, so now we have done the first fermentation process that took about 14 days. This is the kombucha after it has fermented over 14 days. You can see the color has turned really dark brown and probably it has turned quite sour. So we will start with the second process now. If you want to have flavored drinks, you can add so with some fruit juice. Over here we have two flavors, one is pomegranate juice and one is mango juice. And if possible, try to get 100% juice for the best flavor. You can use any kind of juice that you want, apple juice, orange juice, anything that you think you want to add to the flavor to combine with the kombucha.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we've taken it out. Our kombucha and SCOBI looks very full. Auntie Tina is going to help us in the process. We're going to take the juice and we're going to pour into the bottle. So depending on your bottle, you'll probably pour about, fill it maybe 1/3 of the way. The more you pour, the sweeter it will be. So we're just going to leave it to be about maybe this much first and then we'll see how it goes. So I'm filling some with mango and I'm filling some with pomegranate apple.
So we're gonna have some fruit punch. Is that what's gonna happen?
It won't be fruit punch because what's going to happen is once we mix the kombucha, the first fermented kombucha with the juice, it will go through what we call a second fermentation. So the kombucha will eat up the fruit sugars and it will turn it into the second kombucha, which is what we will drink as the final product.
Okay, we are now straining the kombucha away from the SCOBI. And it's a huge jar, so you have to be careful. Try not to spill all your kombucha out. You can see that it's starting to foam up a little bit over here. And let it settle.
Better to use I don't know what you call it. What is it called?
Funnel.
A funnel. So that's easier for you to pour and you don't waste product, as in the kombucha itself. So now Auntie Tina is pouring the kombucha into the jars that we have filled with fruit juice. And we move on to the next one.
Alright guys, we have managed to funnel all of our kombucha out, and you can see from one big jar we managed to get at least 5 servings, quite large servings actually. The colors are really nice, like golden amber-ish color and really pretty to look at, like a mellow honey color-ish.
And if you notice, actually all of them are in glass bottles. So yes, we've used glass bottles from different places that we collected, but it's really important that you keep them in glass bottles, and that's because what happens is we are going to take the cap and close them real tight. What's going to happen is that we're going to leave it in this state for maybe 3 to 4 days, and we're going to let the kombucha do its thing. So what's going to happen is that it's going to go through a second round of fermentation. The kombucha and the live bacteria inside there will be breathing and eating up the fruit sugars. So it's going to become very fizzy inside here. And the longer you leave it like this, closed, do not open it during the 3 to 4 days, because once you open it, the fizziness will escape. And if you leave for 3 to 4 days, it will be fizzy.
So it's gonna be like a sparkling fruit juice.
Yes, kinda, but you don't want to leave it more than 3 to 4 days, because apparently what I understand is if you leave it longer than that, carbon dioxide inside there, which causes the fizziness, may actually cause the bottle to break.
So it will kind of like explode because of too much gas?
Yes, possible. I mean, we've never gotten there, so we don't know, but we've never left it outside for more than 4 days. After 4 days, it's gonna go into the fridge to chill for a day, and then it's all ready to drink.
Let's get capping! So now we have just finished brewing our kombucha after second fermentation. I'm so excited. Here with this, we have poured it into these nice transparent glasses for you to see the colors. Pomegranate apple is much darker, sort of like a tea color, brownish, whereas the mango one is much lighter. It kind of makes me think that it could be pineapple juice also. Very light. So without further ado, let's have a taste test of this. I'm so excited. Whoa, that's really fruity. It tastes like fruit punch, but slightly towards the sour side. And actually, I think it's not that sour.
Yeah, so actually it's not that sour. It's pretty sweet, and yes, like he said, it tastes like fruit punch but with a hint of mango. And this batch is pretty fizzy actually. Quite nice.
Nice to drink on a cold day, no, on a hot day actually, where you just want to relax and chill. Very refreshing, kind of cleanses your mouth too. So how about this one?
Let's give it a try.
What do you think?
Tastes like apple cider vinegar to me.
I think the kombucha kind of like just
Overwhelmed it, I think.
yeah, your fruit juice. Is it because the apple juice tastes very similar to the apple cider vinegar?
Maybe, I mean, we bought pomegranate apple juice, so I'm guessing because it tastes somewhat similar after it's fermented.
It just tastes like apple.
Yeah.
Everything just tastes
Yeah,
like apple
actually.
cider. This one, I think, doesn't have much fizziness. It doesn't have that nice bubbly, like aerated feel to it compared to this. Juice brands can affect whether it becomes fizzy or not because of the content of the juice. So you can do a lot of trial and error. But overall, I think this one tastes just like apple cider vinegar.
A bit, yeah.
Not so fizzy, and I like this one much more mango juice. So overall, what do you think? Is it success?
Yeah, definitely.
You're right, guys. This is homemade kombucha that you can make easily at home. My sister has been doing it for how many months now?
Quite a lot, I think at least half a year.
Half a year,
Yeah,
right?
at least.
Yeah, she's like experienced in this kombucha master. My first time seeing her make this, I don't know if I would make it myself. It seems time consuming, but if you are really keen on this, you can start. So, alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys
Thank
love.
you.
I'll see you guys next time. Bye.